Good evening, everyone. We start with the mistrial motion in the Drew Peterson trial. It's happened again. The prosecution introducing testimony that had been barred by the judge.
ABC 7's Diane Matthews joining us live in Joliet with the latest on this developing story. Diane.
Alan and Kathy, for the third time, the judge stops this case in order to hear another motion for yet another mistrial. It happened moments after Judge Vermilla made a ruling and the state ignored it. It happened as former Bolingbrook police officer Teresa Kearns was about to testify about responding to a report of a domestic violence incident made by Kathleen Savio. Savio told Kearns that her ex-husband, defendant Drew Peterson, had come into her home wearing black SWAT gear, black gloves, held a knife to her throat, and threatened to kill her. Kearns asked Savio if she asked for an order of protection against Peterson. It's that question and the answer that Judge Vermilla declared inadmissible in court before Kearns took the stand. As she was being questioned on the stand, Assistant State's Attorney Kathy Patton went against the judge's specific order and asked Kearns, did she tell you she wanted to get an order of protection? Before Kearns could even answer, the judge dismissed her and the jury, and the defense shot up and called for a mistrial with prejudice. Patton realized her mistake, apologized profusely to the court, and buried her head in her hands, but the damage was done, and Judge Vermilla showed his frustration. After a recess, the state told the judge they want to proceed by having the questions stricken from the record. The defense wants a mistrial. This mishandling of the judge's orders by the state is another blow to their case.
My office always stands ready to protect the integrity of the process in every case that we try. We stand ready to appear in court tomorrow morning and receive the judge's decision and proceed with this trial.
I really am hopeful that this judge is going to rule fairly. He's going to strike it, the statement from the testimony, and we're going to move on with this case.
I think Judge Vermilla is going out of his way to give us a fair trial. And we just want the state to stop getting in the way of a fair trial.
Judge Vermilla adjourned the court, saying he's going to have his decision by tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. The defense is asking for a mistrial with prejudice. So if the judge rules in their favor, Drew Peterson can walk away a free man. Reporting live outside the courthouse in Joliet, Diane Matthews, ABC 7 News. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Diane. So what are the chances of that? Well, more on what could happen tomorrow. There's a lot of reaction this evening to this latest development in the Peterson murder trial.
ABC 7's Ben Bradley joining us tonight with more on that part of the story. Ben?
Kathy, Allen, legal experts say requests for mistrial are not all that uncommon, but this case is different. 3 times now, the judge has viewed the conduct of prosecutors with such suspicion that he is seriously considering tossing the case out and starting over again.
If this were baseball, Will County State's Attorney Jim Glasgow would be on the verge of his 3rd out.
They're doing awfully stupid things, though. They really are.
Professor Richard Kling says slip-ups in the courtroom are common, but rarely do they so fully fly in the face of a judge's order.
If the judge specifically admonished a lawyer not to do something and the lawyer then goes ahead and does it, you know, I can cry, I can say I'm sorry, I can do all of those things, and that's a real serious affront to the court.
Criminal defense attorney Sam Adam Jr., who has crossed his share of judges over the years, was in the courtroom as a spectator today.
If the roles were reversed here, I would be locked up, or Joe would be locked up, or Brodsky would be locked up. Here, it's a very strange situation.
Professor Kling agrees, but doubts that even all 3 of the prosecutor's mistakes will add up to a mistrial for Drew Peterson.
I think the judge can instruct the jury to disregard the statement. I think in terms of, you know, it's one more piece of information, but they're getting a lot of the same information from other witnesses, so I don't know that it's some bombshell that the judge is going to grant the mistrial on.
Well, the judge has a lot of leeway. Among his options, short of declaring a mistrial, personal sanctions against the prosecutor, or a reprimand for the entire Will County State's Attorney's Office. Legal experts say it is very unlikely that prosecutors are intentionally going for a mistrial, trying to get a redo of sorts. That's a pretty serious ethics violation, and it's about the only thing that, if proven, could earn Drew Peterson a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Oh, okay. Thanks so much.
We'll see you tomorrow.